Have you ever stood in the cat food aisle and felt completely paralyzed? One bag has a lynx on the front. One says ancestral, one says grain-free, one says gourmet, and it costs 3 times what the bag beside it costs. So you choose one. You carry it home, you pour it into the bowl, your cat eats, and you feel like you did something good for her. But what if I told you the cat food industry is a marketing machine built to convince you, the human holding the wallet, and not to feed the animal? And what if the food in your kitchen right now is quietly taking years off your cat's life? Not tomorrow, not this month, just a little, every single day for 15 years. That is a hard thing to hear. Today, we fix it together. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Lucas Aoki, your neighborhood cat vet, and welcome back to the channel. Food is the thing I get asked about most in my exam room, and it is always the same question. Dr. Lucas, what do I feed her so she reaches 15? So let me give you the number that should be printed on every bag. Chronic kidney disease is the leading cause of death in older cats, and the studies put it at roughly 1 in 3 cats over the age of 10. 1 in 3. And a great deal of that story starts in the bowl. So today, a complete masterclass. Grab your cat's food, the bag or the pouch, and keep it beside you. 3 types of food I want you to walk away from. 3 feeding mistakes you are almost certainly making at home. And then, because I hate videos that only tell you what not to do, the 4 questions that let you read any label in the world like a vet. Hit that subscribe button to join our educated cat parent community, and let's dive right in. Type number 1 is the one you already suspect. The bargain bin, the cheapest bags on the lowest shelf. Before anything else, hear me. I know exactly what groceries cost right now. Never feel guilty about feeding your cat what you can afford this month. A fed cat is a loved cat. But if the question is 15 years, we have to look hard at what is actually inside those bags. 3 red flags. Red flag 1, the unnamed protein. And straight away, let me demolish something the internet loves. Byproducts are not automatically evil. A wild cat goes for the organs first, and heart is where taurine lives. That is not garbage. That is the good part. The red flag is not the word byproduct. The red flag is the word unnamed. When a label says meat byproduct, or animal digest, or simply meat, with no species attached, that manufacturer bought whatever rendered protein was cheapest that week. Chicken on Monday, something else on Thursday. Your cat is an obligate carnivore. Animal protein is not a topping on her diet, it is the entire foundation, and swapping the foundation every few weeks gives you a cat whose gut never settles. A trustworthy label names the animal. Red flag 2, artificial colors. Have you ever poured out kibble that looks like breakfast cereal? Red pieces, green pieces, orange pieces. My friends, your cat cannot even see that. Cats are dichromatic. Red essentially collapses into a dull gray for her. That kibble is not colored for your cat. It is colored for you, so that your brain reads fresh meat and your hand reaches for the bag. It is theater, and it is theater that her liver has to process. Red flag 3, and this is the one I need you to hear, the chemical preservatives. BHA, BHT, ethoxyquin. BHA has produced tumors in rodent studies at high doses and is internationally classified as possibly carcinogenic. Ethoxyquin was so thinly supported by safety data that in Europe, its authorization as a feed additive was suspended. Now, am I telling you your cat will get cancer from her kibble? No, I do not fearmonger on this channel. What I am telling you is that your cat has to detoxify every one of those compounds using a liver that is missing a pathway dogs run at full power. It is called glucuronidation, and in cats it barely functions. It is the exact reason 1 tablet of paracetamol can kill a cat while a dog walks away from it. Cats are not small dogs. And a cat's liver is not where I want to run a 15-year chemistry experiment, twice a day, every day. And please hear this vet warning, because the proof is written into the law itself. There's a compound called propylene glycol. It keeps soft, chewy, semi-moist foods and treats from drying out. In the United States, the Food and Drug Administration banned it from cat food outright because it damages feline red blood cells. It is still perfectly legal in dog food. Same molecule. Legal for the dog, banned for the cat. So look for foods preserved naturally with mixed tocopherols, which is simply the scientific word for vitamin E, or with rosemary extract. And if your cat eats soft, squeezy, semi-moist treats, go and turn that packet over tonight. Type number 2 is where the real heartbreak happens in my clinic, because here, nobody is being cheap. These are people spending a fortune. The boutique bag, grain-free, exotic protein, ancestral, a wildcat on the packaging. Let me tell you a story that every cat vet knows by heart. In the 1980s, cardiologists in California started watching cats die. Young cats, healthy cats. Their hearts were stretching, thinning, and failing, a disease called dilated cardiomyopathy. Then, in 1987, a research team found the cause. It was not a virus, it was the food. Those cats were deficient in a single amino acid, taurine. The industry added taurine to cat food, and feline dilated cardiomyopathy very nearly disappeared. Sit with that, because here is what it means. Dogs did not teach us that lesson. Cats did. A cat's heart and a cat's retina both run on taurine, and she cannot make enough of her own. She has to eat it, in animal tissue, every single day. Cats are not small dogs. Now think about what a grain-free formula actually has to do. To hold kibble together without grain, the manufacturer fills it with peas, lentils, chickpeas, and potatoes. Legumes. Every gram of legume is a gram that is not animal tissue. In dogs, that exact pattern is under active investigation by the Food and Drug Administration for its link to heart disease. In cats, we do not have that same body of investigation yet, and I'm going to be honest with you about that. But the cat is the species that already proved, once, that she can die of a taurine problem inside a bag that looked perfect on the label. So when a company with no veterinary nutritionist and no feeding trials starts packing my patient's bowl with peas, I am not curious. I am out. And the same goes for the homemade bowl built with love from a recipe on the internet, with no taurine supplement in it at all. The grain-free story is a marketing invention anyway. True grain allergy in cats is extraordinarily rare. When a cat does have a genuine food allergy, it is almost always to the protein. Beef, fish, chicken, dairy, not rice. Then the exotic proteins, kangaroo, venison, wild boar, rabbit. Here is what no marketing team will ever tell you. If your healthy cat develops a true food allergy at 7 years old, your vet will need a protein her immune system has never met so that we can run an elimination diet. Feed her kangaroo for fun today, and you have used it up. You burned the medicine before she ever got sick. The all-tuna bowl belongs in this chapter too. Tuna is not a complete food. Heavy tuna feeding brings mercury and a fat imbalance that can inflame the cat's own body fat, a painful condition called steatitis. And it creates a cat who now refuses absolutely everything else. And vegan cat food. As a vet, I need to tell you the truth. Your cat cannot turn plant beta-carotene into vitamin A the way you and I can. She cannot build enough arachidonic acid from plant fats. She cannot make her own taurine. She is built from the inside out to eat animals. Some companies now add all of that back synthetically. The margin for error is razor thin, the long-term feline data is not there, and the downside is blindness and heart failure. I would not do it to my own cat. And now, type number 3. If you saw the thumbnail of this video, this is exactly what I was talking about, because this one is not a brand at all. It is not the bargain bag, and it is not the boutique bag. It is the most ordinary, most universal thing a cat owner does. It is feeding your cat dry food, and only dry food, for her entire life. Your cat's ancestor is a desert animal. The African wildcat did not evolve beside a stream. She evolved to pull almost all of her water straight out of her prey, and a mouse is about 70% water. So evolution gave her something you do not have. A thirst drive that is close to switched off. She does not feel thirst the way you feel it. Her body is telling her, I am fine. I have always felt like this. Now look in her bowl. Wet food is around 75 to 80% water. Dry kibble is around 8%. And here is the part that stops people. Yes, a cat on dry food does drink more from the water bowl, but she does not catch up. Her total daily water intake stays lower, and her urine comes out darker and far more concentrated. Now, I am not going to tell you that dry food causes kidney failure. That is not what the science says, and I will not exaggerate to make a video more dramatic. Here is what I will tell you instead. A cat on dry food alone lives in a permanent state of low-grade water debt. And concentrated urine is precisely the environment where crystals form, where the bladder wall becomes inflamed, and where a male cat blocks. Which brings me to the biggest warning on this channel. If you have a male cat and he is going in and out of the litter box, straining, crying, producing nothing, that is not constipation and it is not behavior. That is a urethral obstruction. It can kill him within about 48 hours. That is a same-night emergency. Do not wait until morning. But Dr. Lucas, you are thinking, my cat has eaten dry food her whole life and she is perfectly fine. And she may well be. I am not asking you to panic. I am asking you to give those kidneys, the number one thing that will eventually take her from you, an easier 15 years. And let me demolish one last belief on the way out. Dry food does not clean your cat's teeth. It simply does not. A cat shatters kibble. She does not chew through it, so there is no meaningful scrubbing at all. The only exception is a proper veterinary dental diet, engineered with larger pieces and aligned fibers, carrying the Veterinary Oral Health Council seal. Believing standard kibble cleans her teeth is like believing a cracker flosses yours. 3 mistakes we make at home, in our own kitchens, with good food. Mistake 1. Overfeeding and the bowl that is never empty. Roughly half of the pet cats in the developed world are now overweight, and an obese cat is around 4 times more likely to become diabetic. But here is the crucial warning, and it separates cats from dogs completely. You cannot crash diet a fat cat. If an overweight cat suddenly stops eating, her body dumps fat into a liver that cannot process it. It is called hepatic lipidosis, fatty liver, and it can kill her. A cat who has not eaten in 24 to 48 hours is an emergency. Weight loss in a cat is slow, measured, and supervised by your vet. Never improvised. Mistake 2. Tipping the kibble into a plastic storage bin. Almost everyone does this, thinking they are being organized. Please stop. Kibble is coated in fats. Those fats seep into the microscopic pores of the plastic. They survive the washing up, and they go rancid. Then you pour a fresh, expensive bag straight on top of them. In a dog, that means an upset stomach. In a cat, it is worse. Your cat's nose carries roughly 200 million scent receptors. Yours carries about 5 million. She will smell that rancid fat instantly, and she will simply refuse to eat. And you will stand there thinking she has turned fussy. She has not. She is telling you the food has gone off. Keep the food inside its original bag. Roll it down, clip it shut, and put the whole bag into the bin. Mistake 3. The bowl itself. Wash it every day with hot soapy water, obviously. But go further. Use a shallow, wide dish, ceramic or stainless steel. Never plastic, because plastic bowls are strongly linked with feline chin acne. A deep, narrow bowl presses on her whiskers with every single bite. There is a name for that, whisker fatigue, and I will be straight with you, the hard research is still thin. But I have watched too many cats hook their kibble out onto the floor and eat it there to ignore it. And then, the water. Move it away from the food, right across the room. A cat does not drink beside a kill site, because in her mind, that water is contaminated. Separate them and watch how much more she drinks. All right, my friends, that was what to run from. Now let me give you what to run toward. And I can already hear the comments typing. But Dr. Lucas, vets get kickbacks from the big brands. Let me look you in the eye. I do not take a single cent from any pet food company. Not one. And I am not going to hand you a brand name, because brands change. I'm going to hand you 4 questions that work in any shop, in any country, on any label. Question 1. Does a qualified veterinary nutritionist actually work there? Most boutique companies do not employ one. They hire a freelance recipe writer to build something that sounds beautiful to a human. The companies vets trust employ full-time teams of board-certified veterinary nutritionists. Email them and ask. The good ones answer within a day. Question 2. Did they ever feed it to a real cat? This is the single biggest divide in the entire industry. Anyone can put numbers into a spreadsheet and print the words, formulated to meet nutritional levels. But a spreadsheet is not a cat. The brands worth your money run genuine feeding trials to the standards set by AAFCO or by FEDIAF here in Europe. They feed living cats for months and they test their blood. And here is why that matters more for a cat than for any other animal. In the 1980s, the foods that caused those heart failures met the taurine minimum on paper. The taurine was in the bag. It simply was not surviving the process and reaching the cat. Only feeding a living animal reveals that. Question 3. Do they own the factory? Many boutique brands do not make their own food. They rent space in a plant that runs 50 other labels through the same machines. The companies I trust own their plants, test the raw ingredients before they come through the door, and test the finished batch again before it ships. And question 4, the one no dog channel will ever tell you. How much water is in it? Whatever brand you land on, get moisture into that cat. If she eats dry, work toward at least one wet meal a day, and grow from there. Stir a spoonful of warm water into the wet food. Warm it gently, to about body temperature, never hot, because prey is warm, and her nose is built to find warm food. Put extra water bowls around the house, away from the food. And if she will not touch wet food, do not force her, and never starve her into it. Put 1 teaspoon of wet food beside her kibble, not mixed into it, and let her discover it on her own terms. Give it 2 weeks. That is how you win with a cat. So let us gather it all up. The bargain bin, with its unnamed proteins, its dyes, and its BHA, BHT, and ethoxyquin. The boutique trap, the grain-free myth, the exotic proteins, the tuna bowl, the vegan bowl, and the taurine lesson that cats taught the entire world. The dry-only diet, and the water debt it quietly builds. Overfeeding and the fatty liver, the plastic bin and the rancid fat. The bowl, the whiskers, and the water in the wrong place. I can imagine you might be feeling a little overwhelmed. So here's the golden rule, and it matters more for a cat than for any other animal on Earth. Do not change everything tomorrow morning. A cat is neophobic by design. Swap her food overnight and she will not grumble and eat it anyway. She will simply stop eating. And a cat who stops eating for 2 days can end up on a drip with a fatty liver. So here is the formula. Pick one thing. 1. This week, move the water bowl. Next week, 1 teaspoon of wet food beside her dinner. 10 to 14 days for any change of food. 25% new, then half, then more. That is it. 60 seconds a day. And I have to be honest with you about where food stops being the answer. If your cat is drinking noticeably more, urinating more, losing weight while eating normally, vomiting regularly, or hiding away from you, no bag of food on this earth is going to fix that. She needs a blood and urine panel, and she needs it now. Cats hide illness until they cannot hide it anymore, and by the time you can see it, the kidneys have often already lost a great deal of function. Food protects a healthy cat. It does not treat a sick one. And if you are sitting there right now with a knot in your stomach because you recognized your own kitchen cupboard in this video, take a breath. We do not do guilt in this clinic. Ever. You bought that food because you love her and because the bag told you it was the very best thing for her. That is not a failure. That is an honest mistake inside an industry that is designed to produce it. We only ever know what we know. And the fact that you are here 10 minutes into a video about cat food, learning this, is the whole proof. Your cat has one of the best parents in the world. She simply has no way to tell you. If this was useful to you, please give it a thumbs up. It tells the algorithm that safe veterinary advice is worth showing to people, and it helps this channel protect so many more cats. Hit subscribe so you never miss our deep dives into your cat's health. Then do one thing for me. Go and pick up your cat's food right now, turn it over, and tell me in the comments what the very first ingredient says. Just the first word. And tell me whether your cat eats dry, wet, or both. I try to read every single comment, and if you have a friend whose cat has never eaten a single wet meal in her life, share this video with them. You might just change that cat's life. Give your cat a gentle chin scratch for Dr. Lucas tonight. Stay safe, always trust your instincts, and I will see you all in the very next video.